Have you ever wondered why, despite all the modern medicine and treatments, true healing often feels elusive? Why does it seem like something deeper is needed, something beyond just fixing the body? Or maybe you felt stuck, like your mind is holding you back from true wellness? If you've asked yourself any of these questions, you're not alone. Imagine a life where you don't just heal physically, but also emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. What if there was a way to restore balance and health naturally, without relying solely on medications or external treatments? This is where the teachings of Buddhism offer profound insights, showing us that healing isn't just about curing the body. It's about aligning the body, mind, and spirit in harmony. Sounds too good to be true? Well, it's not. In today's video, we'll dive deep into how you can heal yourself naturally by embracing Buddhist wisdom. You'll learn simple, yet powerful practices that have been followed for centuries to bring peace, healing, and wholeness to your life. These practices aren't just theoretical, they're practical tools you can begin using right now in your daily life. Welcome to Wisdom Woven. If you're ready to transform your health in a holistic way, you're in the right place. But before we dive in, here's a quick reminder. There are so many views on this channel, but only 0.2% of viewers actually subscribe. So, if you haven't yet, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel now. Your support helps us continue to bring these life-changing teachings to you and others who need them. Now, let's begin this journey of natural healing together. Through the wisdom of Buddhism, you can unlock a path to not just healing your body, but nurturing your mind and spirit too. Let's explore how the ancient teachings can help you lead a life full of vitality and peace, understanding the roots of suffering and illness. In this world, suffering is inevitable. It comes to us all in different forms: physical pain, emotional heartache, stress, and illness. But what is the root of all this suffering? Why do we experience pain, both inside and out? And most importantly, is there a way to truly heal it, to move beyond it? Buddhism teaches us that the root of all suffering is not in the world outside of us, but in the way we relate to it. We often think that we suffer because of our circumstances, the people around us, or the things that happen to us. But in truth, our suffering arises from the way we react to these things. It is not the events themselves, but our attachment to them that causes us pain. This is a subtle, yet powerful insight. Imagine this. You are walking down a peaceful path when suddenly you step on a thorn. The pain is sharp, and you may even shout out in surprise. But what happens next? If you simply acknowledge the pain, remove the thorn, and continue walking, the pain will fade away. However, if you hold on to the thorn, if you dwell on the sharpness of the pain, it will continue to hurt long after the thorn is gone. This is how our attachment to pain works. We hold on to it, mentally and emotionally, and it causes suffering far beyond the moment it first occurs. In Buddhism, this attachment is called clinging. We cling to our desires, to our fears, to our anger, and even to our past pain. This clinging creates a constant cycle of suffering. It is like trying to hold water in your hands. No matter how tightly you grip, it always slips away. The more we try to hold on to things, the more we suffer. But when we learn to let go, to accept things as they are without clinging, suffering begins to dissolve. The Buddha taught that there are three main causes of suffering: desire, aversion, and ignorance. Let's explore each of these in simple terms. Desire is the wanting mind, the constant craving for more. We want more wealth, more success, more recognition, more pleasure. But as soon as we get what we want, we find that it doesn't satisfy us for long. Our desire keeps growing, like an endless thirst that can never be quenched. No matter how much we gain, there is always something else we want, and so we are never truly content. The more we desire, the more we suffer. Aversion is the opposite of desire. It is the pushing away, the rejection of what we don't want. We try to avoid pain, fear, and discomfort at all costs. But in doing so, we create more suffering. The things we try to avoid are often the very things we need to face and learn from. When we resist what is happening in our lives, we create tension and stress, both in our minds and in our bodies. By rejecting life as it is, we only bring more suffering into our experience. Ignorance is the lack of understanding of the true nature of things. We are often ignorant of how our minds work, of how our attachments cause us pain. We are also ignorant of the interconnectedness of all things, thinking that we are separate from the world around us. But in truth, everything is connected, and every action we take ripples out into the world. When we fail to understand this, we continue to make choices that lead to suffering. Only by seeing things clearly, through the lens of wisdom, can we begin to heal. Now, let's bring this teaching closer to home. Think about how you deal with challenges in your own life. When something goes wrong, how do you react? Do you find yourself clinging to anger or frustration? Do you resist the discomfort and try to push it away? Or do you simply feel overwhelmed by your own desires, wanting things to be different than they are? These are the moments where suffering begins. It is not the situation itself that causes pain, but how we respond to it. When we begin to understand this truth, we can start to shift the way we relate to our pain and suffering. We no longer need to fight against it, avoid it, or wish it away. Instead, we can learn to accept it, to see it as a natural part of life, and to respond with wisdom and compassion. In doing so, we free ourselves from the cycle of suffering. Healing, then, is not just about treating symptoms. It is about addressing the root causes of our suffering. And the root cause is often found in our attachments, our desires, our aversions, and our ignorance. When we let go of these mental habits, we begin to heal, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually as well. Healing also comes from a deep understanding that our bodies and minds are not separate from the world around us. In Buddhism, everything is interconnected. Our health is not just a result of what we do to our bodies, but also of how we relate to the world, to other people, and to our own inner lives. The more we cultivate a sense of interconnectedness and compassion, the more we can heal ourselves and others. So, how can we start to heal naturally? The first step is to recognize that our suffering is not just an external event, but a reflection of our internal world. When we see this, we can begin to change the way we relate to our thoughts, emotions, and experiences. This is where Buddhism offers its deepest wisdom. Through practices like mindfulness and meditation, we can start to understand our thoughts and feelings without becoming trapped by them. We learn to observe our cravings and aversions without acting on them. We begin to see the world as it truly is, without the distortion of our desires and fears. And in doing so, we start to let go of the mental patterns that cause us pain. By developing this awareness, we begin to heal on a deeper level. We stop fighting against life and start accepting it as it is. We stop clinging to the past and begin to live fully in the present moment. This is the path of true healing, a healing that comes from within, from understanding the nature of our minds and the way we relate to the world around us. Remember, the journey of healing is not an overnight process. It requires patience, practice, and commitment. But with each step you take toward understanding the roots of your suffering, you move closer to a life of peace, balance, and true well-being. Healing, according to Buddhism, is not just about becoming free from illness. It is about becoming free from the mental and emotional patterns that create suffering in the first place. And this freedom is available to all of us, no matter where we are on our journey. By understanding the roots of suffering, we can begin to heal naturally, from the inside out. The power of mindfulness in healing. In the stillness of the present moment, healing begins. You see, healing is not just about taking medicine or following a certain diet. It is about bringing attention to where you are right now, fully and completely. This is where mindfulness steps in. It is the practice of being fully aware of your thoughts, your feelings, and your body, without judgment. When you practice mindfulness, you create a space in which healing can naturally unfold. Mindfulness is simple, but not always easy. In our busy lives, we often rush from one thing to the next, our minds jumping from worry to worry, fear to fear. But in the midst of all this mental noise, healing cannot find its way. Healing requires peace, and peace can only come when we stop and pay attention to the present moment. Just like the waves on the surface of the ocean, the mind is often restless. But when you sit quietly, when you just observe the waves without getting lost in them, a deep calm begins to emerge. This is the beginning of mindfulness. When you bring your awareness to the here and now, you invite healing into every part of your being. Mindfulness is not just about calming the mind. It's about recognizing the deep connection between the mind and body. When your mind is agitated, your body feels the stress, the tension, the discomfort. But when your mind is peaceful and centered, the body follows. Illness begins to fade as you bring awareness to the parts of your body that need attention. When you are truly present, your body begins to relax, your breath deepens, and your heart opens. This is the power of mindfulness. It allows you to heal yourself by simply being. In Buddhism, mindfulness is more than just a technique. It is a way of life. The Buddha taught that by being present, we free ourselves from suffering. The more we become aware of our thoughts and feelings, the more we can release what no longer serves us. Suffering, in many cases, comes from our inability to accept the present moment. We wish for the past, we fear the future, and in doing so, we neglect the now. Mindfulness teaches us to let go of the past and future, to stop holding on to what is beyond our control, and to simply be. This practice of being fully present brings great healing. When you stop and pay attention to how your body feels right now, you may notice areas of tension or discomfort. Perhaps there is a pain in your back or tightness in your shoulders. By becoming aware of these sensations, you begin the process of healing. You can breathe deeply into the areas that need attention, allowing your breath to release the tension, bringing ease and comfort. When you bring mindfulness to your body, you begin to release the stored stress, the unresolved emotions, and the pain that have been holding you back from true health. One of the most powerful aspects of mindfulness is that it helps you to cultivate an attitude of acceptance. Instead of judging yourself for feeling sick, tired, or anxious, mindfulness invites you to embrace these feelings without judgment. You simply observe them. You don't try to push them away or make them go away. You just notice them. In this way, you stop fighting with your body and mind. You stop resisting what is. And this, in itself, is healing. But mindfulness isn't just about physical sensations. It also has a deep effect on our emotional health. When we are mindful of our emotions, we stop reacting to them. We stop allowing anger, fear, and sadness to control us. Instead of letting our emotions dictate our actions, we learn to observe them as they arise, without getting caught up in them. This is not about suppressing our feelings. It's about understanding them. When we truly understand our emotions, we can release them with kindness and compassion. Consider this. Imagine a river. The river is always flowing, moving forward, and at times, the water is turbulent. But the water doesn't fight the rocks, the banks, or the obstacles in its path. It simply moves around them. Our emotions are like the water. They come and go, they rise and fall. But when we practice mindfulness, we don't hold on to them. We don't cling to the good emotions, and we don't avoid the difficult ones. We let them flow, and in doing so, we allow ourselves to heal. Through mindfulness, you begin to see your thoughts for what they truly are, just thoughts. They are not you. They are not your reality. You are not your thoughts. When you begin to see your thoughts with clarity and understanding, you free yourself from their hold. You are no longer controlled by your mind. You are the one observing, the one who chooses what to focus on. And in this space, healing becomes possible. You are no longer trapped in a cycle of negativity, stress, or anxiety. You have the power to choose peace. This doesn't mean that mindfulness will instantly fix everything. Healing takes time, but mindfulness helps you create the conditions in which healing can take place. It's like planting a seed. You may not see the fruit immediately, but over time, with patience and care, the seed will grow. Just like mindfulness, healing is a process. It unfolds slowly, but surely. When you are mindful, you begin to notice the small things. The way your feet feel as they touch the ground, the warmth of the sun on your skin, the sound of your breath. These small moments are the foundation of healing. They remind you that you are alive, that you are present, that you are whole. By practicing mindfulness, you reconnect with the essence of who you are. And in doing so, you invite healing into every part of your being. So, how do you begin? Start simple. Start small. Find a quiet space and sit. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. Notice how your body feels. What sensations are present? Are there areas of tension? Are you holding on to anything? Just notice, without judgment. Let your breath be your guide. As you breathe in, feel the air filling your lungs. As you breathe out, Let go of what no longer serves you. Repeat this process, gently and without rushing. Let your mind settle, and as you continue to breathe, you will begin to feel the healing power of mindfulness working within you. Mindfulness, in its simplest form, is a way of bringing awareness to the present moment. It is the practice of being fully awake to what is happening now, and in that moment, healing occurs. Whether you are dealing with physical pain, emotional turmoil, or mental exhaustion, mindfulness gives you the ability to create the space in which healing can happen. It reminds you that you are not your illness, you are not your pain. You are something deeper, something whole, something beautiful. And in that awareness, you begin to heal. The Buddha taught that mindfulness is the key to liberation. It is through mindfulness that we free ourselves from the suffering that holds us captive. When you practice mindfulness, you not only heal your body, but you also begin to heal your mind, your heart, and your soul. Healing in the Buddhist sense is about liberation. It is about letting go of the things that weigh us down, the things that cause us to suffer. And as you let go, you make space for peace, for love, for joy, and for healing. In the end, mindfulness is not just a tool, it is a way of life. It is the way of being present, of embracing the moment, of healing in the simplest, most natural way possible. Through mindfulness, you have the power to heal yourself, to transform your life, and to create a space in which peace, love, and healing can flow freely. This is the power of mindfulness and healing. This is the path to true health. The role of meditation in restoring balance. In this world of constant noise and endless tasks, how often do we take a moment to just breathe? How often do we pause, close our eyes, and listen to the stillness within? We live in a world that is fast and demanding, but true healing comes from slowing down. Meditation is the key to restoring balance, not just in the body, but in the mind and spirit as well. It is the simple, yet profound, practice of being present, of tuning into the rhythm of life. Let us begin by understanding what meditation truly is. It is not an escape from the world, but rather an opportunity to face it with clarity. Meditation in Buddhism is about mindfulness, the act of being fully aware in each moment, without judgment, without attachment, and without distraction. It is the practice of returning to yourself again and again, no matter how far your mind may wander. The beauty of meditation is in its simplicity. You don't need anything special, just a quiet space, a comfortable seat, and your breath. Why is meditation so important for healing? The answer lies in the way our minds work. When we experience stress, anxiety, or pain, it is often because our thoughts are scattered, racing, or overwhelmed. We are caught up in worries about the past or fears for the future, and we lose touch with the present moment. This causes disharmony, both in our minds and in our bodies. Meditation helps us return to the here and now. It brings us back to a place of peace, where healing can begin. Imagine you are holding a glass of water that is filled with dirt. This dirt represents your thoughts, worries, and emotions. When you leave the water still, the dirt gradually settles at the bottom, and the water becomes clear. Meditation works in the same way. When we sit in stillness, the turbulence of our thoughts settles, and we can see things more clearly. Our mind becomes less cluttered, and our body follows suit, finding its natural state of calm. This clarity is not something that happens overnight. Meditation is a practice, a habit that you build over time. It requires patience, kindness, and a willingness to be present, even when it feels difficult. But as you practice, you will notice that your thoughts become less overwhelming, your stress levels lower, and your body feels lighter. With time, you will find a deep sense of balance, like a tree rooted firmly in the ground, yet gently swaying with the breeze. In Buddhism, meditation is often seen as a form of self-compassion. It is a way to nurture yourself, to care for your own well-being. Many people think of meditation as a tool for relaxation, and while it certainly brings relaxation, it is also a powerful tool for self-healing. When we meditate, we are not just quieting our minds. We are listening to ourselves. We are offering ourselves the space to heal, to reflect, and to grow. In this practice, there are many different forms of meditation. Some people prefer focusing on the breath, paying attention to each inhale and exhale. Others use mantras or sounds to anchor their attention. In Buddhism, there are also specific forms of meditation, such as vipassana, insight meditation, or metta, loving-kindness meditation, which help to open the heart and clear the mind. But no matter the form, the essence of meditation remains the same. The practice of returning to the present moment again and again. The benefits of meditation are vast, but they go beyond just mental clarity. Meditation helps to reduce stress and anxiety, lower blood pressure, and strengthen the immune system. It brings emotional healing by allowing us to process difficult feelings without becoming overwhelmed by them. It helps us cultivate patience, resilience, and a sense of peace, no matter the circumstances around us. When you meditate, you are not just healing your mind. You are healing your body and soul. Let's look at it this way. Imagine your body as a house. Over time, dust and dirt accumulate, both inside and out. The walls become cluttered with old emotions, memories, and stress. Meditation is like opening the windows and letting in fresh air, sweeping away the dust, and allowing the sunlight to shine through. The more you practice, the more you'll notice the changes. Your house, your body, becomes brighter, lighter, and more peaceful. But remember, meditation is not a quick fix. It is not something you do once and expect to see instant results. It is a lifelong practice, a journey, and the benefits come with consistency. It's like planting a seed in the ground. At first, you see nothing but dirt, but over time, with patience and care, that seed grows into something beautiful, a tree with deep roots and wide branches. As you begin to meditate, don't judge yourself. It's normal for your mind to wander, for thoughts to come and go. The key is not to fight them, but to gently guide your attention back to your breath, your mantra, or your awareness. This is where the healing begins. Not in the perfect stillness, but in the practice of returning to stillness over and over again. Sometimes, the mind will try to tell you that you don't have time to meditate or that you're not good at it. But these are just distractions. In fact, the busier your life is, the more important it becomes to sit in silence. Meditation is like a pause button for your mind. It gives you the space to clear away the noise and to listen to your true self. Through this process, you can begin to heal, not just from the stresses of daily life, but from deeper wounds, those hidden places in the heart and mind that are calling out for peace. The practice of meditation also encourages us to develop a deeper understanding of our own thoughts and emotions. When we sit quietly, we begin to observe the patterns of our mind. We notice the thoughts that cause us pain and the beliefs that limit us. Over time, meditation allows us to break free from these mental patterns and let go of old wounds. It teaches us that we are not our thoughts. We are the awareness behind the thoughts, and through meditation, we can reconnect with that awareness. In Buddhism, healing is not about escaping suffering, but about transforming it. Meditation helps us transform suffering by allowing us to approach it with compassion and understanding. When we meditate, we create space for ourselves to heal naturally, without forcing anything. It's a gentle process, one that unfolds gradually, like the blossoming of a flower. So, how do you begin? Start small. Find a quiet spot, close your eyes, and take a deep breath. Allow your body to relax. If your mind starts to wander, don't be hard on yourself. Simply return to your breath. With practice, you will find that this simple act of sitting in silence, of being present with yourself, will bring more peace and balance into your life. Remember, meditation is a tool for healing, but it is also a way of life. It is about being present in every moment, noticing the beauty around you, and finding peace within. The more you practice, the more you will experience the profound benefits of this ancient tradition. Through meditation, you can restore balance in your life, heal your body and mind, and discover a deep, lasting peace that resides within you. Cultivating compassion and its healing effects. In this world, we often seek healing in many ways. We search for it in doctors, medicines, diets, and therapies. But there is one medicine that does not cost a thing, and it is available to us at all times. That medicine is compassion. What is compassion? It is the deep feeling of wanting others to be free from suffering, just as we wish for ourselves. It is a warm, caring heart that sees the pain in others and seeks to heal it. Compassion is not just a thought or a feeling, it is a practice, a way of being. In Buddhism, compassion is the very foundation of a peaceful life and is at the core of true healing. The Buddha taught that suffering is a part of life. We all experience it in one form or another, whether it's physical pain, emotional turmoil, or the difficulties of life. But how we respond to this suffering, both in ourselves and others, determines whether we experience peace or continue to be trapped in cycles of pain. When you cultivate compassion, you are not only helping others, but you are also healing yourself. Compassion opens the heart. It softens the mind. It allows you to see the world through a lens of understanding instead of judgment. In doing so, you let go of anger, resentment, and fear, feelings that only cause harm to your body and soul. You may wonder, how does this work in practice? How can compassion heal me? It starts with how we see others. In the world around us, we often encounter people who are suffering, whether they show it or not. Sometimes, it's easy to overlook their pain. But the moment we open our hearts to others, the moment we truly care, a healing force begins to flow. Imagine a friend who is going through a hard time. Maybe they have lost a loved one, or they are struggling with stress at work. What do you do when you see them suffering? If you offer them a kind word, a helping hand, or simply listen with your full attention, you are offering them compassion. But what you may not realize is that, in that moment, you are healing yourself as well. Compassion does not just affect the other person. It transforms you too. When you feel empathy for another's suffering, your heart expands. You move away from a mindset of me and mine, and you begin to see the interconnectedness of all beings. This is the heart of Buddhist practice, the understanding that we are not isolated individuals, but part of a vast, interconnected web of life. The practice of compassion is like planting a seed. At first, it may feel small, but as you nurture it, as you continue to show care for others, that seed grows into something beautiful. Compassion brings peace to the heart, joy to the mind, and health to the body. In fact, scientific studies have shown that acts of kindness and compassion can lower stress, reduce blood pressure, and improve the overall functioning of the immune system. It's as if the body responds to the energy of compassion and uses it to heal. When we are kind, not just to others but to ourselves, we create an environment where healing can occur naturally. But the practice of compassion is not always easy. Sometimes, we may feel resentment, jealousy, or anger toward others, and these emotions can block the flow of compassion. It is in these moments, when we feel hurt or wronged, that we need compassion the most, not just for others, but for ourselves. If you are struggling to be compassionate, start with yourself. You may be your own worst critic, judging yourself harshly for mistakes or shortcomings. This self-judgment can create a barrier to healing. But when you begin to treat yourself with the same kindness you would offer a friend, you start to break down that barrier. In Buddhism, there is a practice called metta bhavana, or loving-kindness meditation. This is a powerful way to cultivate compassion. In this practice, you first send loving kindness to yourself, offering words of care and understanding. Then, you expand this love to others, your family, friends, strangers, and even those you may find difficult. The practice of metta helps to heal the heart, making it softer and more open to others. Every act of compassion, no matter how small, has the power to create ripples of healing. A smile, a kind word, or simply holding space for someone's pain can make all the difference. And as you continue to practice, the effects on your health and well-being will become clear. Compassion not only heals emotional wounds, it also promotes physical wellness as it reduces stress and cultivates peace. But the most profound effect of compassion is its ability to transform suffering into wisdom. When we experience suffering, we can choose to become bitter, or we can choose to learn. Compassion allows us to see the suffering in others and in ourselves, not as something to avoid, but as an opportunity to grow, to become stronger, to become more loving and understanding. True healing begins when we stop fighting against our suffering and instead learn to embrace it with compassion. This does not mean we should seek out suffering, but rather, when it comes, whether in the form of illness, loss, or hardship, we can meet it with an open heart. By doing so, we transform that suffering into something that brings us closer to peace. As you walk the path of healing, remember this. Compassion is not a burden, it is a gift. When you offer it to others, you give them the freedom to heal. And when you offer it to yourself, you allow your own healing to unfold naturally. The more you practice compassion, the more you will experience the deep peace and joy that comes from truly caring for others and yourself. Healing through compassion is a journey. It takes time, patience, and practice. But just like a river that erodes rock over time, compassion slowly wears away the hard edges of anger, resentment, and fear. With each act of kindness, you are creating a space for peace to enter your life. In Buddhism, the ultimate goal is not just healing the body, but achieving liberation from suffering. Compassion is the path that leads us there. By embracing it, we unlock the ability to heal not just ourselves, but the world around us. Every moment spent cultivating compassion is a step toward true healing, one that connects us all, creating a world that is kinder, more peaceful, and full of love. And so, I invite you, as you continue on your journey, to remember this. Healing is not about fixing what is broken. It is about transforming suffering into love, pain into wisdom, and fear into peace. Compassion is the key that unlocks this transformation. Through compassion, healing becomes not just a possibility, but a reality that can bring peace to your heart and healing to your body. The healing energy of loving kindness, Metta Bhavana. Let us take a moment to pause. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and allow yourself to feel the pulse of life within you. You might feel a rush of thoughts or a heaviness in your heart. This is the mind at work, always moving, always busy. But underneath it all, there is a peacefulness, a stillness that is waiting to be recognized. This stillness, my friend, is the foundation of healing. And one of the most powerful tools we have to reconnect with this peace is the practice of loving kindness, or Metta Bhavana. In Buddhism, the practice of loving kindness is not just a gentle feeling. It is a transformative energy. It is an energy that flows from the heart, ripples out into the world, and touches all beings. This energy is pure, unconditional, and free of judgment. It is the energy of acceptance, of warmth, of love, and it is a medicine for the soul. Imagine this. You are feeling unwell, physically or emotionally. You might feel disconnected from others or overwhelmed by your own suffering. In this moment, if you turn inward and offer yourself loving kindness, you begin to shift the energy within. Instead of dwelling on the pain, you allow your heart to soften. You stop resisting, and instead, you embrace yourself with compassion. This is the first step toward healing, not fighting the illness, but loving yourself through it. This is the essence of Metta Bhavana, loving kindness meditation. It starts with the self. We offer ourselves kind thoughts, gentle words, and an open heart. It is easy to be hard on ourselves, to judge and criticize. But in the practice of metta, we choose something different. We choose to meet ourselves with understanding, not judgment. We choose to be our own refuge, to embrace ourselves just as we are. The practice of loving kindness is simple, but profound. Begin by sitting comfortably. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. As you inhale, feel the air entering your body, filling you with life. As you exhale, release any tension or discomfort. Now, in your mind's eye, say these words to yourself. May I be happy. May I be peaceful. May I be healthy. May I live with ease. Repeat these phrases slowly and gently, letting each one settle into your heart. At first, it may feel strange. You may find it hard to offer yourself love and kindness, especially if you are used to self-criticism. But do not worry. Just like a muscle, loving kindness grows stronger the more you practice it. With time, these words will become a part of you. You will feel the warmth of your own heart, and you will begin to recognize the healing power of self-love. Once you have offered yourself loving kindness, expand it. Begin to send these same thoughts to others, your loved ones, your friends, even those you may have conflict with. Say, may you be happy. May you be peaceful. May you be healthy. May you live with ease. Feel the energy of these words as they leave your heart and travel toward others. As you offer them love, you create a circle of healing that flows from one person to another, touching all beings, all living things. Now, let us explore why this practice is so powerful. The energy of metta is like a healing balm for the mind and spirit. When we practice loving kindness, we are no longer focused on the things that divide us, our anger, our pain, our fears. Instead, we shift our focus to the qualities that unite us: love, compassion, peace. This shift brings a sense of ease, of comfort, of safety. It opens the door to true healing. When we send out loving kindness to others, we also begin to heal ourselves. It may seem strange, but by wishing others happiness and peace, we are strengthening our own well-being. The act of giving love, whether to ourselves or others, is a gift that returns to us in abundance. It heals the wounds of the heart and quiets the restless mind. It reconnects us with the deepest, most fundamental aspect of who we are, our true nature, which is love itself. But why is this so important? Because our mental and emotional states have a profound effect on our physical health. Stress, anxiety, anger, and fear can create imbalance in the body. They can weaken the immune system, disturb sleep, and lead to chronic illness. On the other hand, love, compassion, and peace nurture the body, calm the mind, and promote healing. The practice of metta offers a powerful antidote to the stress and strain of modern life. Loving kindness is also an antidote to fear. When we face illness or hardship, it is natural to feel fear. But fear often amplifies the suffering, making it harder to heal. By cultivating loving kindness, we replace fear with compassion. We replace judgment with acceptance. And in this acceptance, we find the space for healing to occur. We stop fighting against our pain and start embracing it with gentleness and care. In this practice, we learn to let go of the need for control. We cannot always control what happens to our bodies or our lives, but we can control how we respond. When we respond with loving kindness, we allow ourselves to heal naturally. We stop forcing solutions, and instead, we create an environment in which healing can happen on its own. This is the wisdom of Buddhism: to be at peace with what is, to embrace life as it comes, and to trust in the process of healing. As you continue to practice Metta Bhavana, you may notice subtle changes in your life. You may feel more at ease in your body, more connected to your emotions, and more compassionate toward others. You may even notice that your physical health improves, not because of a specific treatment, but because your entire being is in a state of balance. The practice of loving kindness is a gentle, yet powerful way to restore harmony to your life. Healing, in the Buddhist sense, is not about escaping suffering. It is about transforming our relationship with suffering. We learn to meet life as it is, without resistance. We learn to accept what is, and in that acceptance we find peace. Loving kindness is the gateway to this peace. It allows us to soften our hearts, to let go of our fears, and to embrace ourselves and others with warmth and compassion. As you practice this healing energy of metta, remember that it is not just about the words you say. It is about the intention behind them. The energy of loving kindness is born in the heart, and it spreads outward. With each breath, each thought, each moment, you are nurturing yourself and the world around you. And in doing so, you are creating a life of peace, of balance, and of deep, lasting healing. So, I encourage you, my friend, to begin today. Start with yourself. Offer yourself the gift of loving kindness. Send those healing thoughts into the world. And remember, this practice, though simple, is a powerful tool for restoring your health, your peace, and your happiness. As you give love, so too will you receive it, and in that exchange, true healing will take place. The connection between simplicity and wellness. In life, we often search for complexity. We believe that solutions to our problems lie in complicated answers, in the busy and the fast-paced. But what if true wellness, both in body and mind, comes from the opposite? What if the key to healing is found in simplicity? Let us take a step back and observe nature. When you look at a tree, its beauty is not in the complexity of its structure. The tree stands tall, with deep roots and leaves swaying in the wind, but its form is simple. A river flows, its current gentle, yet strong. Nature doesn't strive for complexity, yet it thrives. This is the first lesson. Simplicity allows life to flow naturally, without obstruction. Now, let us reflect on how we live our lives. We fill our days with distractions, noise, and endless thoughts. We believe we must do more, be more, and have more to be happy and healthy. But in our quest for more, we often lose touch with the things that truly matter. Our minds become cluttered, and our bodies, too, suffer from the constant strain. It is in simplicity that we find true peace. In Buddhism, the concept of simplicity is central. The teachings encourage us to live with less, not just in terms of material possessions, but also in our thoughts and actions. By simplifying our lives, we create space for healing. A mind that is not overburdened with unnecessary worries can find clarity. A body that is not weighed down by excess stress can begin to restore itself. This is the path to wellness. Letting go of the clutter and focusing on what truly nourishes us. Let's look at a simple practice. Every morning, when you wake, instead of rushing into your day with a list of tasks, take a few minutes to breathe. Close your eyes and bring your attention to your breath. Feel the air moving in and out of your body. Let this moment of stillness guide you into simplicity. By starting your day this way, you allow yourself to set an intention for calmness and focus. It's a small act, but it can change everything. Simplicity is also reflected in how we interact with others. How often do we complicate our relationships with misunderstandings, judgments, or expectations? True connection comes when we allow people to simply be who they are, without trying to change them or impose our views. When we listen without judgment, when we offer kindness without expecting anything in return, we create the space for true healing. In Buddhism, the practice of mindful communication is a way to simplify our interactions. When you speak, do so with intention and clarity. When you listen, truly listen. Let go of the need to interrupt or judge. In this simple act of being present with one another, we begin to heal. Relationships become more peaceful, and our inner peace grows. Another key element of simplicity in Buddhist practice is detachment. This doesn't mean rejecting the world or the people around us. It means understanding that our happiness and wellness do not depend on external circumstances. When we become attached to things, whether they are possessions, outcomes, or people, we create suffering. We hold on to expectations and desires that, when unmet, lead to frustration. By practicing detachment, we free ourselves from this cycle of wanting and disappointment. Detachment is not about shutting down or disconnecting from life. It's about being present without clinging. If you look at a flower, you can admire its beauty, but you don't need to possess it. You enjoy it for what it is in that moment. This is the kind of detachment that leads to freedom and peace. Buddhist monks live by the principle of simplicity in their daily lives. They focus on the essentials: food, shelter, and a peaceful mind. They meditate, practice mindfulness, and engage in simple tasks with full attention. Their lives are not complicated by the distractions we often face, and this simplicity allows them to experience profound inner peace. When you embrace simplicity, you also embrace the present moment. How often do we rush through life, missing the beauty that is right in front of us? We think about what's next, what's wrong, or what we have to do. But true wellness can only be found in the present. By simplifying your life, you remove the distractions that pull you away from the here and now. In Buddhism, mindfulness is the practice of bringing your full attention to the present. It's simple, but not always easy. It requires you to be fully present with whatever you are doing, whether it's eating, walking, or even washing dishes. By doing things with mindfulness, you cultivate a sense of peace and connection to the present moment. Another powerful lesson from Buddhism is the practice of non-attachment to results. Often, we create stress for ourselves by focusing too much on outcomes. We want to achieve something, and we become attached to the idea of success. But in reality, true wellness is found not in the result, but in the process itself. When you focus on the process, on being present with what you're doing, without worrying about the outcome, you open yourself up to deeper peace and fulfillment. Simplicity also extends to the way we approach our physical health. How often do we complicate our wellness routines? We buy expensive supplements, engage in intense workout regimens, and follow trends that promise quick results. But simplicity doesn't mean doing less. It means doing what is truly nourishing for our bodies. A balanced diet, regular movement, and enough rest are simple practices that can transform our health over time. You don't need the latest trend to feel good, just the basics. In Buddhism, there is a practice known as right effort, which encourages us to approach our health with balance. Right effort means doing what is necessary without overexertion. It's about finding that sweet spot where you are taking care of yourself, but not pushing yourself to the point of exhaustion. This is where true healing begins. In the simplicity of balanced, mindful effort, you can see that simplicity is not just about doing less, it's about being intentional with your choices. Every moment, every action can be done with mindfulness. When you simplify, you stop scattering your energy in 100 different directions. You bring your focus back to what truly matters, and in doing so, you align your body and mind with the natural flow of life. The final lesson in simplicity is one of acceptance. Life is not always going to go according to plan. We will face challenges, illness, loss, and frustration. But when we practice simplicity, we learn to accept life as it is, rather than how we think it should be. Acceptance does not mean giving up or resigning ourselves to suffering. It means understanding that life is ever-changing, and we can find peace in the flow of things as they are, not as we want them to be. Simplicity, in essence, is the art of living with less noise and more clarity. It's about focusing on what nourishes your body, mind, and spirit. By simplifying, you can create space for healing, growth, and peace. It is a path that leads to wellness in every sense of the word, and it is something you can begin to practice today.